and you're talking to people who don't feel anywhere near as bad as you did, so they just, do you know what I mean? I don't know whether that's the, but I say to people now, look, if you ever do feel really ill, just remember I told you this, but I'm going to stop now because you just become this nuisance.
Gareth, how did you find Carnivore?
Okay, basically, we go back a bit. I've sort of been up and down with weight. With me, sort of weight never, never looked like massively obese. So people just sort of always, I don't know, I sort of hid it well. It was massive gut and what have you, and it just never felt well. That was the problem. When I put the weight on, I felt really ill. Lots of things, and I had bad knees through my job, which is like tiling. And I've tried fasting, which actually worked for me. Quite liked it, and I tried the paleo diet 3 or 4 years ago, which did work. And so all these things were there, but I'd always come back to just, I love my food. So I'd come back to pizzas and what have you, and just, I don't know how it happened, slip back in, and then I'd feel probably worse than I did before. I think I put more weight on, and yeah, it was just that ongoing, the way I felt really, just didn't feel well. But I knew in the back of my mind what to do. I knew they worked, these things. I knew cutting out carbs really helped me, and I knew fasting helped me actually quite a lot, made me feel really well, and just annoyed at myself for just, why have I not, why have I gone back to the way? And so the last sort of 6 months of last year, I was probably at my heaviest, and I've been high blood pressure has been there for years. And then I'd had a lung condition, which quite frightening at first. I thought, we thought it could be cancer or whatever, and went to my lymph nodes, and I was going for tests, and it was fine. And turned out to be still quite a fairly bad diagnosis, but not cancer, thank God. It was a thing called sarcoidosis, and it was affecting my breathing, walking uphill, just walking the dogs, working everything, my job. On top of that, my knees, my weight was at its heaviest, and just felt, I mean, I was not 50 yet, but I felt, I don't know, 60. I don't know, I felt awful. Don't know what 60 feels like, but yeah, just felt awful. So I went to steroids for this condition, tablets, and that's made me feel even worse. And I just kept saying, I'm going to start next week. I'm going to start next week for 6 months. And then in January, start of January, I was like, well, I've got to do something now, because I felt like I was really, I had really bad indigestion. Couldn't sleep properly. My heart, I was aware my heart all the time was palpitating. I just felt awful. And started sort of keto, loose keto, sort of, and within a week, you can feel the difference. You can feel the energy. 2 weeks, and then obviously YouTube just kept throwing up your videos. I think the first one I ever saw someone with a Carnivore t-shirt, I just thought, that's nuts. You can't just eat meat. Really, I just thought, no, I've turned it off. And then I saw something with Alex from Liverpool. Do you remember Alex from Liverpool? And his enthusiasm and the way he looked well. He just looked really well. And then I saw more. Sorry, I can't remember all the names, but I saw more videos. And it's not, I just believe, this is definite. These people they're not here trying to sell me anything. They just really want to help. And then I saw doctors, Ken Berry and Anthony Chafee and a few others, and I believed it. I thought, this is it. It's gonna help me. I even knew it was, I was going to need a new wardrobe and stuff. I just knew. And yeah, so 20th of January, gave it a go, and it was difficult because I went out for my dad's birthday and we went to an Indian restaurant. So I kind of phoned ahead and ordered some lamb chops with nothing on them. And I phoned them and I was like, look, nothing on them. Don't want any spice, because I'm kind of all or nothing. So hence pizza, everything. Either. But if I do something, I go for it. Sort of. So I was like, I don't want spice, I don't want pepper. You know, can you just do me some lamb chops with salt? So we got there for my dad's birthday, and I've always hated fussy eaters. You know, if you go out or someone comes to your house and they're fussy, it winds me up. But I got there and they brought out these lamb chops, which I phoned 3 times for a week in advance, and it was covered in spice. And I'm like, there's me. I'm like, you know, what are you doing? I phoned it, you know, I didn't eat anything. And it didn't look good. It wasn't great. But I was convinced I had to go for it, and I knew it was going to help me. So fast forward, you know, the next month, I had 2 weeks because I'd done keto. I didn't have diarrhea or things like that, but I had the meat aversion, or what people call it. I just didn't want to eat it. After about a week, I just didn't want to eat it. And there was a couple of 3 days where I didn't really eat anything. And my wife said, you know, I said, oh, no, I'm losing weight. She goes, yeah, you're not eating. You know, it's because you're not eating. I'm like, no, but I don't. My body doesn't want it. I don't want it. You know, but I don't feel ill. I just didn't want the food, the meat. And then it sort of the next week, then I had a bit, some eggs, and then before you know it, it was just telling me how to eat. It was, you know, oh, I fancy that bit of ribeye, or more often than not ribeye. You know, it was just eating once a day. It wasn't a conscious decision. It was just that's when I felt hungry and I didn't want anything else. And it went on for a few, maybe 2 months. And obviously you notice the weight dropping off. But it's the things like my knees was the main thing that I just couldn't get my head around. You know, I'd gone from hardly wanting to walk the dogs, which I love doing, but just felt so awful, to let's walk the dogs. My job improved immensely. Because I'm Tyler, as I said, so I'm on my knees quite a lot. So everything was blamed on that. It was my knees because of that, and because I'm getting old, and you know, I started looking at bungalows. You know, well, I can't do stairs. It was bad. You know, 48 years of age, and I felt terrible.
That must have been awful having to get down on your knees all the time at work, and
Oh,
it just take forever.
When you've got 2 knees that you can hardly walk with, right, and then you've got to get down on your knees. I mean, I hated my job. You know, I hated it. I was blaming my job, and you know, I used to be really good at it, and I was like, you know, I wasn't enjoying it at all. But within 2 or 3 weeks of doing I've got to say keto as well. Keto, 2 or 3 weeks in total, I could get down on my knees, and my work sort of improved. You know, the amount of work, the productivity, the dog walks, going up hills. Fast forward 4 months now, just over, I'm getting the urge to run up hills. You know, where's that come from? I was in Costco the other day, and I'm up on the trolley like a kid. You know, when you push the trolley, and some woman looked at me and smiled, and I'm like, "What are you doing? Where's this energy coming from?" I can't explain it. That's the bit I wanted to tell my story for. The energy is how we're meant to be, and we just forget that, you know. And I want other people to feel it. That's the thing. But you become a nuisance. You become a nuisance trying to tell people, and I get that. And I would have probably felt the same with someone telling me. So I felt, do this, get the story across. It really works. You know, it really, really works, and it's so fast as well. You know, we're all different. I'm not saying it would work for everyone, but I gave up coffee for a while. I went all in, like I say, for a good 2 to 3 months. But coffee never really affected me in any sort of way. I just like it. So I brought some coffee back in, and it's nice because it's something else I can drink. But it doesn't affect me in any sort of negative way, really. I don't feel pains or aches, or it doesn't make me feel high. I can drink coffee at night before I go to bed. I'm just lucky in that respect. But then I started adding a bit of dairy. And I'm not sure on dairy. It's one of them where I don't think it affects me too bad, but I think it's like an addiction. It's almost going back to go and grab a bit of cheese, or that's the danger with dairy. But I'm not putting weight on. I'm not putting any weight back on or anything like that. And then but it's mind blowing.
Well,
This way of eating is mind blowing. I'm off all meds, all blood pressure. Don't take the steroids. I haven't took a paracetamol or an ibuprofen for 3 months. I used to take them
wow.
regularly. Yeah, regularly. I mean, I would take them. People would say, "Well, you're taking too many of them." I had to take them. Took one for 3 months. Nothing. If I get a headache, which is occasional, just a headache, nothing. They used to be horrendous. I'd wake up with them because of obviously struggling for the day before work or whatever, and I wake up with them and they get worse and worse and worse. And sometimes I have to go home, and they would never go. And ibuprofen would help, but they wouldn't get rid of them. Now we've got probably 3 headaches since I started Carnivore, but they were just normal mild headaches, and they'd be gone within 2-3 hours by themselves. And I could carry on with my job. And there was nothing to even really mention, but there, I'll be honest. I've had a couple of headaches, but it's almost like my body saying, "We can deal with this." I can deal with this, and it's amazing. It's an amazing way to heal. You know.
That's awesome. So how have you been eating to get to this point? Are you eating once a day, twice a day?
No, so that time when it kind of the meat version of it went to one a day, but kind of recently, about 3 weeks ago, and I think it's probably when I hit kind of my, I don't say ideal weight, but I think I am kind of where I should be. I just got hungrier, and now I will definitely eat bacon and eggs, sort of midday if I can. If I'm at work, so I can take it or leave it. I don't have to eat. Sometimes I'll go out and I'll get McDonald's patties, which I know it's not ideal, but if you're hungry, it's, and people say that they're fine, they've not got anything other than beef, but yeah, we've done that, and I've even had the eggs and the sausage patties for breakfast, which I know I've got some stuff in them, but I've got that little bit now where if something doesn't make me feel right the next day, I'll know what it is, and I'll say, right, I'm not touching that again, and but I'll never, I don't look at like buns now. I used to love bread and pizzas and all. I don't look at it now with any envy at all. It's I almost feel not sorry for the people, but like I want to tell them, you know what I mean? Like that's not worth it. What? It's not worth it. 2 minutes. You're gonna eat that for 2 minutes, and it's gonna down the line add to your problem. Everyone's got things, haven't they?
Oh.
They're on tablets for this or.
I'm just imagining you zooming around Costco on your trolley, smacking the sandwiches out of people's hands or something.
Yeah, yeah. But that was just a moment that made me really think about the energy levels, and it wasn't a conscious thing. I didn't know where it came from. Bearing in mind, I've ached. My arms ached as well, my elbow. To do that just proves that what is how we should feel. And it's sad, really, that we've been led down this path where we just don't feel at our optimum at all. We just, I was just
Everyone's
getting
walking
through.
around inflamed, right?
Yeah, definitely. I was getting through the days and loving getting into bed because it was like, oh, thank God that's over. That is not living. That's not living. And what worried me was you're not 50 yet. How the hell am I going to feel when I'm 60, 55? Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, thank God that I found this. Thank God for people like you. Yeah, it's amazing. It's just, I do feel like I'm on my own, apart from obviously the community, but people don't want to listen. They can see the difference. They just think you're going to have, heart disease or, what's your cholesterol, And I'm not a doctor. I don't go to doctors enough. Or don't. I just don't like it. So I've not took bloods, and I've not none of it. Which I wish I had really as a marker to start with, but it wasn't a thing. I just Like, that's it. I'm doing it tomorrow, and I'm convinced. I'm convinced. I know my cholesterol might be up. I don't know, but I'm convinced that I'm well. You know, I know I'm well.
Yeah.
My body tells me I'm well.
That's
And I
right,
can,
right? Your body's
yeah,
not going to lie to you, right?
no, no, no. I'm just waiting for. I remember when you took your hat off the other week and you showed the ball patch going. I can't wait for that because you can't see it. I know it's not guaranteed, but you never know. You never know.
Yeah. So what about your wife? Has she shown any interest at all?
No, no. She likes her vegetables and everything, and no, I still think she's seen the change. She's seen the improvement, but still think she's not convinced it's the right. It's good for me, you know. It's 4 months now, and I think wait and see. Everyone's got to do their own path, haven't they? Choose their own path. I'd love her to. Yeah, she's always been more. What's the word? Like I'm all or nothing. So I will have. Let's have the extra double cheeseburger with my Big Mac meal, and you know, let's eat between meals. Not because I'm hungry. I don't know what it was. I was also a healthy eater. I liked all food, but she can regulate. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
She's not overweight. She regulates. She doesn't eat between meals. Um, so yeah, I think I don't know whether you need to feel really ill to start this. I think maybe I just felt really bad. And you're talking to people who don't feel anywhere near as bad as you did, so do you know what I mean? I don't know whether but I say to people now, look, if you ever do feel really ill, just remember I told you this, but I'm going to stop now because you just become this nuisance.
It's one of those things where you've got this, you've found this secret that no one knows about, so you just want to tell people, you want to help them, right? But yeah, I mean, probably from the other people's perspective, I know people have probably felt this about me. It's like, has he got anything else to talk about?
Yeah, I know, but you do. You become that. Someone said to me the other day, he said, carnivores are the new vegans. And I thought, God, I don't want to, I'm not having to go vegans, but I don't want to be. I know what he meant when he said it. So that's made me sort of, but it's sad because you're exactly what you said is what I was saying. I've got the secret. What sort of person would I be if I didn't, want to share it with you? But yeah, people don't. They don't want to listen. I saw Ken Berry once say, "Lead by example. Don't You can't push it on people." And that's the way I'm going to try and go now. But it's amazing. I mean, I've never read a book since junior school, when I was made to read books. And I'm not saying that's a good thing. That's just me. I just haven't. I find I get bored. And then, all right, I'm listening on Audible, but I've bought 5 or 6 Audible books on the subject. And I find it amazing. I love it all, the nutrition side of it, because it's just learning things that you think, oh my, it makes so much sense now. And we just, it's frightening that just what you're doing to yourself, eating in the way that we all eat. It's frightening because now you're like watching someone have a can of Coke and you think that's 5 times the sugar you need or 6 times the sugar you need for the whole day, and that's your second can of Coke, and that's on top of everything else you've had. And you think, God, how strong our bodies must be, because I've done that for 30 years, and I was getting in a bad way, but I was still, it shows you how good your body is. It shows you how strong it is, and you give it what it
Mm.
needs, and it pays you back. It really
Yeah,
pays you back.
it's a testament to our bodies that just in a few weeks of changing our diet, it can improve so much, right?
Unbelievable. Yeah. I'm still mind blown, and I wake up every morning now, and I sleep really, really strongly. I mean, I still wake up early. I always have. I was a terrible sleeper in the end. I'd go to sleep like in a heartbeat because I was so tired. But if I woke for the toilet or whatever, which doesn't happen as often now, I couldn't go back to sleep, and there was stuff going on in my head. And then I'd wake up, and it was a vicious circle of oh God, I've got to go and get my knees again today, and I can't explain it. It was hard. It was really, really difficult. And now I'll get in bed and I'll still fall asleep in a heartbeat, but it's different. It's like very deep sleep. And sometimes I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, which is early, I know, but I feel fine. I feel awake. I don't feel like I need to go back to sleep. I'll go to the toilet, I'll go downstairs, I'll watch some YouTube. And like this morning, I woke up at 5, which was quite good for me. But I went to bed at 9:30, 10. I was asleep by 10. It's good amount of sleep, deep sleep. I feel refreshed. Wake up. I don't think I was depressed before. I don't say I would ever say that, but I was down. There was doom. There was doom. Definitely just over trying to get through the day. Whereas now, I just feel alive. I don't even think about sort of, oh, I've got to do this, got to do that. I just do it. You know, like I just went out and cleared my van because someone's picking my van up. It needs to go and get repaired. You know, I had to lift a load of adhesive and tiles and tools, and normally it would make me feel, I feel exhausted from doing that. You know, and I'd sometimes get a headache from doing something like that. Something 15 minutes of lifting and whatever. Now I'll just go and nip and do that. 5 minutes. Got to have my shower. Got to have a video. That it's just it's how we should feel. It is how we should feel. And you feel like it. I
Yeah.
think you feel like it. Well, I felt like it all up until I was about 12 years of age, and that's obviously when things started to disagree with me. You know, or show signs of disagreeing with me. And I joined the army when I was sort of 16 till about 19, and I was fit then. I was thin, you know, healthy. Obviously, in the army, you're just constantly on it. Um, but I haven't been anywhere near that physique or weight, you know, since I was 20, and a size 33 or whatever it was. And I was 16. I think I was 16 stone, which I just got written up there. 102 kilos, 225 pounds, over 16 stone, which is my heaviest. And now within 4 months, and it was within 4 months, I'm 80 kilos, 176 pounds. So it's 12 stone 6. So that's as low as I've been in my adult. That's when I was in the army. I was around there. So, and it doesn't feel like any effort. It doesn't. You know, if people say, "Oh, how can you just eat meat?" Oh, that must have been a terrible thought. I said, "No, it's like the greatest 4 months I've had in the last, you know, to do with myself. Like in the last 20 years, like, I can't explain it. I just can't explain it.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's easy to do. It's
Mm.
easy to do because when you feel this well, and I'm enjoying the food as well. That's the day I'm enjoying the food.
And there's nothing better than that feeling of like not being hungry between meals, right?
Mm, mm, definitely. No, this is what I was saying about the cheese. I find I don't know if you eat dairy. I find since bringing the cheese back in a bit, so I never had any cheese for the first 2 to 3 months. I love cheese, but cheese is almost like your new chocolate. Do you know what I mean? It's like, so I've got to be careful with the cheese, but not from putting the weight on. I don't think I'll put the weight back on. I just don't. My body is, you know, I'm quite busy at work and what have you, and physical. I don't think the weight's come back on. Just from will it give me, because I used to have terrible indigestion, which I never mentioned, like really bad, chronic. I don't know whether it was indigestion. It could have been something worse that I just didn't go to the doctors. I was terrible for not going to the doctors. Um, that went. That took a little bit longer than my knees, but that went, and that is the biggest relief because I had to get it a lot when I was driving, and it was frightening, and it made my heart really race, you know, and it was frightening, and that went, and something really worries me about anything like that coming back because that's really frightening. That you know, it could have been something worse than indigestion. Don't know. It was definitely something wrong with my diet, with the way I was eating, and like when I had the other day I had some milk or cheese or something, just a little bit, and it wasn't pasteurised. And no, it wasn't raw. Sorry, it was pasteurised, and I had a little bit of something in my stomach the next day, and that's the first thing I've had in 3.5 months. Just a little uneasy stomach. So I've laid back on that now, and I bought some raw cheese, and I'm going to just have it sparingly because I do like it. I do really like it, but last night I had a little bit on my ribeye just to change it up a little bit. Not that I don't enjoy it, but just I mean a little bit different. Sometimes you have it with eggs, sometimes you have it on its own, sometimes you have it with a little bit of cheese. Sounds, oh my god, how could you eat steak every night? But no, I can. I can do it. A bit of lamb, sometimes occasionally pork and chicken, but I don't think they're the greatest. But
Yeah. So has your oral health changed at all in the time you've been carnivore?
yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah. Um, yeah, just feels like my teeth feel cleaner. And I wouldn't say I had gum disease or anything like that. I don't know. Well, I didn't because I've been to the dentist. He didn't say I had gum disease, but when you sometimes brush your teeth and gums might be a bit sore and you might have a little bit of blood. Nothing major. Used to get that. Don't get any of that now at all. And I can brush my teeth as vigorously as I like. My gums just feel stronger and yeah, that's a good question because that's something I haven't really thought about. But yeah, that's definitely something. And
Yeah.
my ankles are stronger, which sounds daft. But we went away on holiday last year, walking holiday, and we'd been there 15 minutes. It was quite an uneven garden or yard or whatever you call it, and I twisted my ankle. So that was my holiday, walking holiday, ruined. Yeah, I know. I'm saying why are we booking a walking holiday when I've been saying about, but it's just getting up in the hills with the dogs because if you go abroad, you can't take the dogs and like yeah. So we took the dogs, and then the rest of the holiday was really struggled. We couldn't do any real proper walks, but my ankles were weak, and occasionally would give me inflammation. They're so strong now. I can. How can I explain? If I watched somebody, it sounds daft, but if I watched somebody jump on a video, it made me, my knees hurt and my ankles. Do you know what I mean? It was like, oh God, how can they do that? But now I can jump and I can run, and I've actually had to go sprinting recently, and I'm like, is this real? We were discussing me having 2 knee replacements last year. Is it real? So yeah, your teeth improve, your joints improve, hopefully the hair. Yeah, I don't think there's any downsides that I've seen. Apart from maybe going out, but how often do you actually go out? And there is things we've been working away and up in Liverpool, and we've gone out. We've had some Turkish food. I know that they might spray a bit of oil on or put a bit of pepper on. I've just gone right. I can't not go out, and so I've just completely had no salad, no rice. Obviously, I haven't touched any of that, and I've really had no carbs at all, apart from what you get in a little bit of milk or cheese, or whatever you get. But and it hasn't adversely affected me. Like if they do, it's lamb, it's a bit of chicken, it's all stuff that's fine. It's carnivore, but you can't control what they put on it. And at first, I found that difficult because I've been so good, but it hasn't affected me. I feel fine, and it's quite nice because it's sort of opened the diet up a little bit now. So I'm not frightened now to go out, but just have to choose the right things. You just have to choose the right restaurant and the right things. But yeah, no, it works. It works.
Yeah. So how would you recommend people get started with this?
Well, I saw Ken Berry say, try 90 days. He said, try 30 days. Anyone can do anything for 30 days. And but he said, if you can do 90 days, go for it. Well, I've done fasting and I've done this, and I can do anything. I can do it. Yeah, I can do that for 90 days. And then, so I've heard that you can get diarrhea and quite bad, quite sort of keto flu type symptoms, and I didn't get that. I'd done 2 weeks of keto, not intentionally, because if I'd gone for carnivore and I knew about it, I would have gone straight in because I'm all or nothing. But the keto led me to the carnivore, so that helped me. I know it did. I didn't get diarrhea, and I hadn't had the processed food for 2 weeks. You know, the sugar, and that's is me now worrying about a few spices and a bit of pepper, and all them sugars and all them things. What we used to eat, that's what people are eating. So if you can, I'd say if you can do a week of cutting out the processed food, it's going to make your transition better, which is probably going to make you want to stay on the carnivore diet. So I would say that. But if you want to go all or nothing, just do it. It's just go for the bacon, eggs, beef. Just stick with the meat. I mean, if you have to eat cheese at the start, then it's better than not. It's better than sort of not doing the carnivore diet, or just go as strict as you can. But definitely, the quicker you can just get all that processed stuff out, and the quicker you can cut down on, we all know about oxalates and things like that now. The quicker you can cut down all your carbs, good carbs that people say are supposed to be, you'll we're all different, but hopefully you'll see the results. And most people say they see results within 3 weeks, 3 weeks. It's got to be worth it. We're putting both our dogs, Labradors now, on all meat because I think that's going to be another example. Because our older Labrador, she's always scratching, her eyes are always weeping. Her joints, she's put a bit of weight on, and I just think I know I can make you feel better. So I do, and no, and I'm just like, yeah, great. I know when all these things start improving, and it sounds like you're being sort of cocky or whatever, but I just know that's what she needs. She's designed to eat meat like we are. And our younger lad, he's fine. He runs around. He's got lots of energy, but he's going to be rocket fueled now. He is going to be like super dog. Do you know what I mean? But I just know it's going to work, and I know it would work for people, and that's why I became a nuisance.
So, Gareth, do you have a way of reaching out to you, like social media or anything like that?
Not well. This isn't me, so I don't. This is the first time I've thought about. Just wanted to help get the secret out, as you say that. But no, if someone wants to email me, I'll definitely give you my email. But yeah, it's not me. I'm like, I don't post stuff. I don't. It's weird. This is another thing. It must have given me some sort of personality change as well. I don't know. It's weird. Confidence, I say you call it.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of people have said that, and I feel for myself, I've got a bit more of a confident attitude about things.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll post your email below. And Gareth, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. I really appreciate your time.
Thanks, Dave, and thanks for doing this. Thanks for helping me find it.